Okay, so the variation I'm going to be demonstrating here for you is the dumbbell variation. But like I said, you can use barbells, Smith machine, whatever you have programmed and whatever you have available. So how it's going to work, you're going to start with your feet underneath your hips. You are going to soften your knees slightly. Now from here, you are going to push your bum back like you're trying to reach your bum as far back as you can, whilst reaching your head as far forward as you can. This is going to keep your spine nice and long. As you're going through this, keep on thinking about your upper back being engaged and switched on. So you can see a nice flat back, come to your bottom position, and then drive hips through. This exercise, you should feel hamstrings, glutes, lower back, and all the way through to the upper back as well. Now let's go through some common faults for the RDL. Number one is leaning forward, not pushing back. So this exercise, you want to be pushing those hips back. Leaning forward looks something like this. Just folding over. It's not folding over, it's pushing those hips back as if you're trying to push them as far back as you can. You can see the difference in the two movements. And this comes in 2 points. Obviously, like I said, it's pushing back, not leaning forward. So this exercise ends when your hips can no longer go backwards. You see, I'm driving my hips back, I'm pushing them back, pushing them back. As soon as I feel they can't go back any further, I'm stopping the rep. I'm not leaning forward more because it offers nothing to the movement, but it's probably going to increase my injury risk. So there's a simple coaching cue to encourage pushing your hips back and not just leaning forward. It's called shut the car door with your bum. You're thinking there's a car door behind you. You're trying to push your hips back to shut that door with your bum. If you don't, and you lean forward, you see my hips haven't gone back. I'm not going to be able to shut that door. So shut the car door with your bum. That cue should help encourage pushing back, not leaning forward. Fault number two is weight shifting. So this exercise, as you can see, is up and down. The weight as you go through this should stay over the middle of your feet. What you often see is as people push back, they sit back onto their heels. And you might be able to see my toes starting to come up and I'm losing balance. I may even stumble backwards a little bit as I'm going through it. You want to keep the weight over the middle of your foot. In your position, keep that weight over the middle of the foot as you push your feet into the floor to push back. And then the second part is people holding whatever weight they're lifting with these dumbbells in front of the line of the body to help counterbalance the hips. It allows you to push your hips back further, even though it's not done in the right way. So it should look like this. If people are pushing the weight out in front of them, it allows me to counterbalance and sit back a little bit more. But it's not working what it needs to be working, and it's putting too much stress through my lower back. And the cues to fix this for both of them are the exact same, and they're very simple. Keep the weight and keep the center of mass over the middle of your foot. These dumbbells in this scenario, they are staying completely over my feet. And the weight in my feet is right over the middle because that's where the weight is. But as soon as I push forward, it's going to come back. So the number one cue for this is keep the weight over the middle of your foot at all times. Staying over the middle of the foot as the hips go back, then driving through. Mistake number three that I see is back rounding. And it comes in two parts. First one is upper back rounding. Upper back rounding is when in the position, as you start to come down, the upper back is starting to fold over because there's a lack of upper back engagement. So the number one cue to fix this is pull your shoulders back and down. As you're going through your reps, those shoulders being back and down is going to keep your upper back muscles engaged and stop it pulling you forward. Issue number two with the back is the lower back. Is people not having an awareness or an understanding of their pelvis. And as they're starting to push their hips back, they can't really flatten this area out. And as you can see, it looks all rounded. So this can be a big issue for some people. And it often revolves regressing into cat camels or cat cows. So what that looks like is that hands under shoulders, knees under hips position. And we work on this position into this position. and you consider it like a spectrum. On that spectrum, going from one extreme of that down position to one extreme of the rounded position, and you're controlling where you put your hips. Because when you go through this RDL, you want your lower back to be flat. You want it to be neutral. It's not one, it's not the other. But if you can control both ends, you can put it anywhere you want to put it. So as you're going through your reps, the cue that I use is flat as a table. And that helps translate the whole way up through the back. So as you're starting to push your hips back in position, you think flat as a table, as if someone's trying to eat dinner off your lower back in that bottom position. You wouldn't be rounded and you wouldn't be curved too much. You're going to be flat as a table. So to summarize, to keep it simple, this is how you're going to do your RDL. You're going to stand up tall, feet hip width apart, soften the knees, push the hips back like you're trying to shut a car door and reach your head forward. The rep stops when your hips stop going back. Keep the weight over the middle of your foot at all times, then drive the hips through and squeeze. Smooth on the way down, hips back trying to shut that car door, reach the head forward, keep the upper back engaged until you hit your bottom position, and then drive them through. And remember, this is training hamstrings, glutes, and lower back.